It's Greg's Garage time, and on this one, we take you behind the scenes to places unseen. Well, by most visitors to the Harley-Davidson Museum anyway. And the wait is over. We finally throw a leg over the highly anticipated Honda Grom. We take a serious, hard look at the new street-going monster and break it down for you bolt by bolt, or something like that. And the very first American International Motorcycle Expo happened recently, and while there, EBR unveiled and announced some very cool stuff, and we've got it all. And Suzuki introduced us to the GW250. I took a quick spin, show you a bit about that, plus some news and our talk about exhaust systems. All that coming right up. Hello everyone and welcome to Greg's Garage, the power sports lifestyle show coming at you from my actual garage in North Carolina. First time watching? Well, in this program, we talk motorcycles, ATVs, UTVs, which are side-by-sides, watercraft, snowmobiles, and scooters. And we showcase all kinds of fun stuff with them. Like a couple shows ago when we introduced you to the Harley-Davidson Museum, a place where only 20% of the annual visitors ride Harleys, only 50% ride motorcycles. It's entertaining, interactive, and quite spectacular for anyone. We go back to Milwaukee to give you more. On this visit, we get to go where few do, the archives and the motorcycle storage area. So, here we go.
We do a variety of different types of tours here, and some of the pleasant people who you bought your ticket from do some kind of limited behind-the-scenes tours. We do tours for dealer groups where I or one of my staff will kind of take you through, so I'll give you a little sense of what that's like. This image, as you can see, 38, so it's taken probably, fall of 37 or sometime in 38. Gives you a sense that, of the collection and the fact that the founders kept it together, and they used it for a variety of purposes as it's used today. Both it's a great corporate showpiece, but it's also important for a variety of reasons to be able to look back on what you did, and it's kind of fun to see this because those are all the bikes we were just walking by. As I was saying, when we do the VIP tours, we take people in groups up to about 20. These are all garment boxes, so riding gear of various sorts, and then small artifacts. And this stuff, is it's just, we save things to document the history, and like any other archive, it's things that are just kind of like these is small artifacts, and they're just in. I just happened to grab this one. You can see lots of key rings, and some neat ones. Now that, like this downstairs, you'd see, I recognize these. This is, we had, in 1958, the marketing slogan was the tops, like top hat. So there's a 1958 dealer key ring. We made golf cars for a long time. So, there's probably some golfers out there that don't have both gloves on, but Harley-Davidson golf tees. So, kind of just a random box there. So like any big company, of the time, they contracted out photography services, and so these are all the copy images of things that we've got the negatives to. This is fun, early kind of marketing. So there's it's a photo that's kind of, they didn't have Photoshop back then, but has been converted. Drawings. Yeah. So there is the cutaway. So a physical cutaway engine, which, by the way, I think that's the one that's in the engine room. So they cut away the engine, saved it, and then used that image to create the drawing that then would have gone into the service manual. It's quite a collection, and you know, from putting the museum together, it was amazing to have all this stuff, but it's also, I'll get questions still. I'll be walking through the museum and somebody will ask me a question about one of the bikes that I won't know the answer to, and I can say, oh, just a minute. And I'll run back here and pull out the catalog or the service bulletin and run back out and tell them. And they think that's pretty neat, just that even if they don't get to come back here, that I can do that. This is actually, so we just came in from this side. We encourage visitors to come take the elevator. You can see the 3 is worn a little bit there. A lot of people coming up. So for the museum visitor, they can come up, the elevator opens this way, they go into a viewing area. For this, we get to go this way. And it's reliably an ooh-ah when the doors open. Wow, it's quiet up here. So, as I said, the company started saving bikes in 1915, which means we've accumulated a lot of them. When we were visiting this company, Space Saver, which their headquarters down in Fort Atkinson, the factory, and they built that compact storage system in the archives, and so we were familiar with those and went down to talk to them about building that system, and they took me out into the warehouse and said, hey, we've got a cool idea for the bikes. And so they have systems like this for warehousing, and so they worked with us to make something that works for our bikes. There's an interesting one. That's another sort of little known story that what became the V-Rod. Erik Buell was an engineer with the company, and it was originally the project, which was inspired by the liquid-cooled V4 and the VR1000. So we were looking at making a liquid-cooled powertrain for a Buell, and then over time it morphed to become a V-Rod, and there happens to be that was actually a handling buck. So before the Revolution powertrain was in production, they were testing out the frame and kind of geometry with the VR1000 engine. Quite a place. You know, my background is in museums, not motorcycles. So it was quite an interview process convincing, like Willie G, that I could do this, since I didn't even own a motorcycle. But if you're gonna try to learn something, this is the place to do it.